There you go.
It's just
rinse and repeat.
Let's get him a head cover and call it a day. I mean, what credit card do you want to put this on?
Yeah, we're done.
Welcome back to our Scottsdale studio. I'm Mark Roybal, joined by Master Club Fitter Sam Kim. Today we have a special guest from Cobra Golf, Jose Miraflor, who is the VP of Product Architecture. Jose, welcome.
What's up, guys?
This is my favorite time of year when we start talking about new drivers, and we're holding your new Optum line. It looks like I'm holding the most forgiving of the bunch, would be my assumption, in the Max K. Sam, you have the draw version and the low spin, so probably on both ends of it, and then you're holding the X, or your core model is what I would assume there, Jose?
Correct.
Tell me about this line. What is Optum?
Optum celebrates optimization of many things. You know, we've been studying speed and forgiveness for a bunch of years. That's what we're known for, right? But this year we really wanted to bring to the table an add-on to our Max K, which is probably your best seller for you guys, and with
great.
us, our #1 SKU in 25. But this year what we're bringing to the table is even more understanding of inertia. We're bringing a brand new term to everybody called POI. It's no longer just MOI, which is stability. POI drives accuracy. So what I'm saying here is not only are we creating some drivers that are super fast for different types of golfers, super forgiving as well, but now we're going to be able to bring accuracy or tighter downrange dispersion to golfers this year.
Oh, that's wonderful. We have the LS, which still has your 3 interchangeable weights, it looks like.
You notice they're in new positions,
Yeah.
right? So we use supercomputers this year to really study where you need to place mass and even movable weights such that you're going to deliver a driver that is not only fast, but also super tight in dispersion. So those new weight positions will help drive accuracy, actually. And you see the new shape of the driver. That one that you're holding is now a deeper face driver, done that way because of our tour guys, but also shaped differently. So we shape mass more centered perfectly around the center of gravity, meaning that we're spreading it evenly.
Okay.
That's going to drive up rotational stability or accuracy.
So a low spinning driver that also adds some forgiveness for those weight placements. And then the one thing I noticed for your core model, which fits generally the masses, if you will, that weight to me looks like it's kind of near the toe. What's the reason for that?
So again, the whole system where we use these supercomputers and algorithms to tell us where to place mass, it took our weight that used to be in the middle this last year and actually pushed it towards the toe and said to push as much mass there as you could. So there's 11 grams here and probably another 9 grams holding it underneath. So that pushes the CG forward. Great for the faster players, but also a weight position in the back, which used to be sitting on the ground, but now is all the way on the back side, which pushes the weight even further. So when you exchange them, you can now take a driver that's made to be fast and really gets going for a lot of better players. You can make it even more forgiving by putting the heavy weight in the back, and still pretty accurate and still very forgiving and raises your launch up a little bit. So a great fitting driver as a standard model.
Sure. And then when you go to your ultra kind of uber forgiving here, that weight, which is appears to be almost fixed, I'm sure you could interchange it based off the swing weight that you're trying to achieve or anything. But this is probably going to be your highest launching of the bunch?
This would be the highest launching of these better player drivers. That one with the weight all the way in the back has all the mass, and that's how you get that forgiveness factor in there, right? And then the D, of course, we made it for dual purpose. One, it says D for draw. It's real easy to correct, helps you correct your slice by placing all the mass towards the heel. But it also happens to be our highest hitting driver. So if somebody's looking for launch and draw bias, that's the way to go. If they don't need the draw bias, they can probably loft using Future Fit 33, the Max K, to suit their needs if they don't need slice correction.
That's great. And to your point, all 4 of these will have your Future Fit 33, which allows us as club fitters to really, really dial in launch conditions, start lines, any sort of bias that we're trying to achieve. I'm excited to hit all these and mainly kind of watch you hit them.
Let's do it. I can't
Let's
wait.
go do this thing. All right, Sam, in your hand is the Optum LS, the low spin version. We're at 9 degrees. You're in a X-Flex shaft.
So the LS model this year grew a little bit in volume. It went from 445 cc's to 460. It's a deeper face. A lot of the guys who played LS last year said, you know, I like it, but how about more volume, a little deeper face to keep the spin down, give us even more speed on off-center hits. So I love it.
Yeah, it looks great.
Straight out of the gate.
It's about as good as I can hit it there.
That was pretty cool.
That's the middle of the face.
And Sammy, when you set that thing down, do you notice anything in size or shape that's unique?
Yeah, there's a couple things that stand out to me. The first being, it's a smaller head for sure, you can tell. deeper face, which I think you can also see it address. What I really like about it is it sits really square to my eye. And I think sometimes when you get into that LS product, it favors a fade bias, if you will, and then maybe that face is a little more open. So to my eye, I really like this because it actually does sit really square. I like that a lot.
What we tried to do this year was bring a little bit of what the long drive guys would say to us. And Kyle Berkshire would always say, I wish there's just more face area. So we made our 6-degree version of this, super large, very deep face. And we brought a little bit of that into this product this year.
That's great. More surface area for you, Sammy.
I'll take all of it that I can get.
That's great.
That's just a bullet.
What about the feel there, Sam?
Feels really good. I think it feels like I can tell where I'm hitting it on the face, and it feels like it's really jumping off the face, which is really what you want out of a driver for sure.
Efficiency at 146, so here on the quad, really maximizing all the energy out of it for what you're putting into it. Launching at 10, spinning at 2100, so ball speed, launch and spin, creating that descent angle right at 32. As a fitter, if I'm looking at that one golf ball, I'm like, probably a little bit low spin, but you're in a low spin driver. That's what it's supposed to do, right?
And that is a small draw for him. If you hit your fade like you like to, we think it'll come up to about 24, 2300. No, very sustainable spin, right? With the new weighting system that we have, and you'll see that the weights are in new positions, the neutral is 11 grams in the heel, 7 in the toe, and 3 in the back.
Okay.
Because we have a heavy, mid, and lightweight now, we can make 5 different configurations of ball flight. So if in this position, for example, if Sam kept hitting small draws and he wants to hit a little bit of fade, there's 2 ways we can go about it. We can move that 11 up to the toe, exchange it with the 7. That'll give him a little bit of fade bias.
Okay.
We could tilt the spin axis a little flatter to change his spin axis, right? So there's so many different ways to go at it, depending. I think that's the great part of your fit with your players. You can have that exchange of dialogue that helps him get there together.
Slightly open face, but still struck well. So I'd like to see what that looks like from a spin standpoint. Because typically when you leave the face open, that spin's gonna kick up. But that one didn't feel like it spun that much. Yeah, it's still in a good spot there for a miss, right?
Yeah, high toe, still spinning at 2400. With an open face, you'd expect that thing to jump up probably to those lower 3000s, but still being a relatively low spin for that golf shot. Again, what that driver's supposed to do.
And Sam, when you hit your driver, what is the trajectory that you love to see?
Yeah, that's a good question. I definitely I think I hit everything in the bag fairly high. So I definitely don't hit a low driver, but I don't think it's crazy high. I think that's probably pretty similar to how I'd hit it outside.
And from a bias perspective, you like to see it fall more left or right?
Traditionally, I hit a little bit of a fade. I can hit a draw if I need to, but stock is gonna probably be a little fade.
And the key here is to use the weight system and to use the future fit system to let him make his stock move and give him a stock result. If he's fighting in any way or direction, just use the system rather than having trying to manufacture something is what you want to do.
Yeah, and Sam, you know, as our clients come in and do driver fittings with us, we try not to have them change their swing or alter the tee height. They're doing all these things because now you're changing so many variables, right? Swing your swing, we're gonna fit the product to that swing. And with the hosel settings that Cobra has and now the interchangeable weight in the LS model, there's so much we could do, almost 40 kind of things we could change.
We can, absolutely.
There's your kind of cut there, Sam.
Yeah.
That would be your miss, your most miss to the right.
Yeah, if I was gonna have a miss, that's what I'd expect it to see. It fades a little bit more than I'd like. But again, to see that big of a fade with spin still staying in a good spot is really positive.
Yeah, our goal in this year in creating this driver is we worked on what's called product of inertia, which is trying to reduce 3D twisting. So sometimes when you hit a driver, I think we all can, like when we hit it, we can say, oh man, that's going way right. When you're able to look up and say, oh, it's not, it's because it's not spinning abruptly, pushing it off direction. And also the head is more stable than before. I think you'll see less dispersion. Right? That's what we're trying to get for you.
Yeah.
So POI and MOI being different things.
Yeah, MOI is increasing the stability in a singular direction, while POI is managing 3D twisting in multiple directions at one time. So they work kind of against the engineer's direction, but you have to design all of them into your package when you're designing a product line.
That was a good ball there.
That was really nice.
You notice that start line, Sam, maybe a touch right of center, and then just kind of stays there and falls a couple more feet to the right. Really, really good.
That's great. It feels really nice. I really like the way it feels. That's ideal, right? That's what we're looking for.
All right, Sam, I have the Optim X. This is a 9 degrees. You're in your X Flex shaft. I do have the weight setting a little bit forward.
Yeah, this weight setting that we have it in is this toe, right? Forward toe.
I didn't notice that.
Which is our accuracy setting. So again, we're gonna test this accuracy for you. What I love about it is Sam benefits from having forward CG, right?
Yeah, it looks really nice. Definitely a little bigger shape than the LS. But same thing, it just sits on the ground really square, which I love. The transition from that gloss to the satin finish on the top, it frames the ball really nice as well.
A lot of our players talk about, it gives them a good view of face angle at address. And it also has a nice transition so you can see the face. A lot of people don't need a lot of loft, but they still like to see a little bit of it, right?
That felt really good.
Right out of the gate.
Love it, first swing right there.
Really good.
Line ball?
Line ball.
Oh my goodness.
12, 2000. I mean, there's not much wrong with that from a distance standpoint. I wouldn't mind if that spin was up just a touch, right? But pretty good.
I would never say that LS is hard to hit, but there's no question the bigger head gives me a little bit more confidence, and I just feel like it's kind of just set it down, swing, and trust that it's going to go pretty straight, which, I mean, I'll take 13 of those.
36 descent there, Sam, so you're really going to maximize that carry and the total. We could maybe, if I'm critiquing here as a club fitter and what we do and our clients are seeking us for, is maybe a touch higher in launch and keep the spin the same.
Yep.
And that'll get us an extra 10 somewhere in there, but really that's pretty dang good.
I think this could be the easiest fit ever. You just take this and add 1 degree.
Yep.
It's gonna add 150 to 200 RPMs. It's gonna add a ½ degree in launch, and we'd be taking his credit card, walking into the register. There it is. That's you.
That's
That feels good there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on repeat.
Oh man.
Let's take a look at that one there. 173 ball speed, 10.5 launch, 2400 spin. That's just
There
perfect.
isn't anything there I would change. The descent angle is perfect for a combination of carry and roll. He's got plenty of ball speed. The efficiency is 1.45. I mean, what credit card do you want to put this on?
Yeah, we're done.
All right, Sam. In my hand, I have the Optim Max K, the most forgiving of the line. And Jose, for me, last year, this was one of my drivers of the year.
Oh, was it?
A wonderful driver that you guys made. So I'm curious on how do you make it better?
All we tried to do this year was bring in a little bit more accuracy, tightening that dispersion a little bit. You know how 10K drivers with the CG so far away from the hosel, some people find it hard to square. We tried to be cognizant of that, dynamic lofting, face angle, but this year we also tried to drive product of inertia down so that we can add a little bit of tightness to it in dispersion. Because this is made to hit fairways. So now what we want to do is not only let you hit the fairway, hit the target of the fairway that you're trying to hit.
It looks great. A little bit bigger in size than the X?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You have to maximize that back flow so you can push as much weight as far back as you can in that shape.
How'd that one feel, Sam?
That was good. Maybe slightly low on the face.
That's what it sounded like.
So it came out a little bit lower.
Yep.
But you'll take right down the middle.
Center of the fairway. So slightly low on the club face. Let's see what that ball speed is. Yeah, so 164. You'd expect that spin to go up a little bit, especially kind of what you were saying, Jose, with that weight all the way back. You're probably going to add a little bit of dynamic loft, and then you start talking about where it's hit vertically on the club face as well.
That was struck well. Turned it over a little bit.
I'd expect that from you.
Yeah, that was hit well.
As a better golfer, you're going to feel a little bit of lag of rotation, so your supercomputer will take over. But some great numbers there, right? Not spinning excessively for a 10K type of driver, right?
That's pretty good. It actually came out pretty flat. There we go.
I love both of those last two.
Yeah. Feels very easy to turn over.
Sam, going from the LS to the X to now the Max K, is there something that you could feel when you're swinging it, maybe where the weights are positioned, anything specifically?
Not necessarily. I think like from the standpoint of swinging them, it's really just a shape thing. The LS to me looks quite a bit smaller than this, and maybe that's attributing to me turning it over more. But that would be the only thing I notice really is kind of size.
and shape, Jose, you'd mentioned every driver in the Optum line is 460 cc's. So the size really hasn't changed, but the shape is what changed.
Yeah, the LS was made to look compact, deep. The X is made to have the F9 speedback shape, so medium in address view, still a little bit deeper. The K maximizes address profile, trying to push all the way to the back, and D, you'll see a little bit of heel bias shaping to that. So shaped and designed internally for different types of golfers. I love how consistent he hits this driver. We're talking about tighter downrange dispersion, and I predicted that this driver might be a good one for you. May not be the perfect shape that you like to look at, but look how repetitive we're seeing in ball speed. Efficiencies are up at 1.46. Your carries are very consistent. I just love what I'm seeing here.
That's really good, Sam. If you're a client that walked in and when you come to a fitting at True Spec, we always have them hit their first driver, hit what they came in with, get some numbers on it, then we kind of compare it to what you and I would fit them into. If we started here, I think I would send that client and say either let's look at irons or let's look at something else because this driver is pretty good.
Let's get you a matching fairway wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, Jose, we talked a little bit earlier about kind of shape and stuff and how golf's hard.
Right.
Like, I like the way this looks because it looks forgiving and it looks like I'm going to hit it straight and it feels like I'm going to hit it straight. And I'd say that's backed up by the numbers. There you go.
It's just
rinse and repeat.
Let's get him a head cover and call it a day.
All right, Sam, in my hand I have the Optum Max D. So this is going to be the draw bias version of the 4 models that Jose and his team brought out this year.
Sam, you watch NASCAR?
I can't say I do, but go ahead. You can educate me.
Nothing but left turns. That's what you're about to see.
Let's do it.
Don't go trying to straighten it out. Just do your swing. Let the driver show everybody what they're going to get, right?
That's right.
Talk to me, Jose, a little bit about the technology that would make this a draw driver.
So every piece of discretionary weight that we're able to create, we move towards the hosel, towards where that weight is, right? And that's going to bring it closer in, allowing the golfer, whether they know it or not, to be able to square the face up a little bit easier. For the first time in all these years, we've been able to make a straight neck driver that draws as much as our offset driver that we had for many years. Not a lot of people like looking down an offset driver, but now they don't need it because you have a straight neck that can do it.
And how about from a lie angle standpoint? Does that change at all going into the Max D?
Yes, and that's where the fitting knowledge that you guys have goes in. You go from a 57-degree standard lie angle in the LS, progressively more upright. This is a 61-degree lie angle driver, right? So 57 goes to 58 to 59, then to 60 and 61 as you progress through the driver line. Helps you guys be able to fit people. And if that's the wrong one, you can still adjust plus or minus 2 degrees in lie angle.
How about that?
Whew.
That was a draw.
How's the draw?
A 1 yard perfect draw. That was nice.
That was great.
There it is. Normal swing, more left bias, not super huge, but enough that makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, for someone, Jose, that comes into our studios and goes to our driver fitting and they are 30, 40, 20 yards right, and now we're maybe 10 yards left. That one was 32. Like, that changes some things.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're seeing the left side of the golf course, but that one specifically, that's really good.
We're talking about a guy who likes to hit a fade, and we just made his ball go 32 yards left. For the normal golfer who's 30 yards right, we're bringing that back in play.
Yeah, and then you're also likely, if you're that far right and now it's moving the other way left, you're probably gaining some yardage.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the things people talk about is our draw driver short. And I think this is a good example that it's not short.
Totally agree.
The spin is still there. It's not excessive spin. It's trying to actually reduce the over-the-top spin, right? And giving you the right launch conditions.
High draws.
Yeah, that's great.
How'd that one feel, Sam?
That felt good. That was the middle of the face. I think the other thing too I'd speak about on this driver would be when I first started playing golf, I hit big slices because of a baseball background. When I set this driver down behind the ball, it looks like it wants to go left. So like if I was afraid of right, this to me looks like I'd be like confident, okay, this ball's probably gonna go pretty straight. And I think that's half the battle at least there.
Yeah, and Sam, when a client comes into a True Spec studio, part part of the interview questions that we always ask them is, what are you expecting out of this? What do you want out of this? And sometimes you get clients saying, I want to know if I'm in the correct shaft or flex or whatever it is. And so what I tend to challenge that is, what do you want the ball to do that it's currently not doing, right? So then you get real definitive. I want it to go a little bit more left, right? I want it to draw. I want to get rid of the right side of the golf course. And now we have a good option.
Absolutely. And if they happen to be somebody who maybe wants to hit the K but wants that, use the future fit to tilt it upward. It'll get to that lie angle, and maybe that's enough draw for them. And you're giving them the stability. In the end, what I love to talk about is when you guys do your questionnaires and asking golfers things, you can take 4 drivers and work it down to 2. You're going to either have somebody who has a lot of speed and it's an LS and X, or you're going to have somebody with lower speed and not as good positioning of impacts. You're going to have the K and D, and then sometimes a perfect middle. Like I think you'd be a perfect between X and K. Somewhere in there is a perfect setup for you.
Yeah, I would agree. And with your future fit system, there's so many things we could do to really, really dial it in.
Love that tempo right there.
Yeah, really good there, Sam.
That's what we want. That's what we expect to see.
Yeah, this feels like it's going to draw, which is what it says on the bottom.
There we go.
Man, save the best for last. I love that.
That's great.
Whew.
All right, let's take a look at some data. Sam, Jose, we just finished up the testing of the Optim family. We have the Max D, the draw bias, the Optim Max K, which is going to be your uber forgiving, and then your Optim X, your core model, and then lastly, we're looking at the low spin Optim. Sam, what's the first thing you notice here?
They all did a really good job of telling a story of what they're designed to do. There wasn't one that did something we weren't expecting. They did everything we were expecting, which is all you can ask for.
And Jose, we don't really have a robot here, but we brought Sam the closest thing to it. A pretty good data set on what I would assume these drivers are supposed to do. Right. So what do you notice as an architect of product here?
You know, I congratulate the team at home for creating drivers that do different things. Sam makes them all do very similar things. So you can see the ball speeds are really close, right? Launch angles are very close. The spin numbers are very close. How they fly shows a different story, right? There's the D definitely goes left for him.
Yeah.
And then the X and the K, which I think are the 2 drivers he needs to choose from when we get him into our drivers in 2026. And then the LS is probably a little too low spin for you, unless you wanted to play one with more loft. But I think you actually, you said to me, you like looking at a slightly larger head profile. Yeah. So I think it shows here. Your numbers say 4 really great drivers that are designed a little different from each other.
Yeah, I would agree to everything that you guys said. I think when a client comes into a True Spec studio and they want to know which drivers are the best, and we're asking them these questions of look, sound, and feel, now we can kind of quantify those things. Is it actually hotter? Is it feel like it's going to go left? Does it look like it's shut? All of those things. And downrange, you can see that Optim Max K, probably the most consistent. The Optim Max D, Sam, you would assume would go the most left in for you. It certainly did. A really, really good story with Optim here. Jose, you and your team did wonderful things with the new product. We're excited to bring it into our lineup here at True Spec. We can't thank you enough for coming down to Scottsdale.
Thank you for having me. It's great watching the rubber meet the road, right? And to watch the robot hit the ball. I mean, I think it's easy for you. You're going to choose a driver that you can either hit every single fairway in the Max K, or challenge yourself to have some more speed and workability in the X. Yeah. So
a tough decision for Sam. All right, Jose, thank you again for coming to our Scottsdale spot and helping Sam and I with the new Optim line of drivers here and educating us with you and your team, which did such a good job of producing a great driver, and 4 different drivers for that matter. You're either an Optim Max D, an Optim Max K, an Optim X player, or an Optim LS. Book a fitting at your local True Spec and find out which one of the 4 that you are.